arguably one of the most bizarre and perplexing outcomes in Eurovision history. It would just prove that we really do live in a Eurovision bubble. It's one of the biggest robberies Eurovision has ever seen. Worst top 3 we have seen in quite some time. This is why we need juries. Israel's government-funded ad campaign with the Israeli government advertising agency, which operates under the Prime Minister's office, spending more than 1 million euros. This could potentially and allegedly indicate signs of fabrication of the televote. Not only puts into question the integrity of Eurovision, but also questions the transparency of the contest as a whole. And a reform regarding the televote needs to take place immediately. We cannot keep doing this. God, where do I even begin with this? It was a mess. It was a hot fucking mess, wasn't it? Cue the intro. Hello, hi, вітаю, добре дошли. It's your boy, Gotham. Gotham, and welcome back.
Guess who's back?
Before we knew Eurovision 2025 was over,
Thank God.
it has been over a week since we had all of our eyes glued on rehearsals, actual shows, predictions, odds, everything. It has been a long journey, starting with Montsong and ending things in Basel, and by ending things I mean the entire continent of Europe collectively having a heart attack while praying for a miracle so our beloved song contest doesn't die. After major crash outs and a long personal trip to Basel for me, we have the entirety of the results out for both semifinals and the final.
And the madness.
And to say things are weird and questionable would be an understatement. And as a self-proclaimed king of being real and as widely infamous in the community as the professional hater, who else other than I would be the best fit for breaking down the results of the contest and just bullshitting around for 40 to 50 minutes?
Don't you ever shut up!
As you can already tell from this intro and from the title of this very video, in this episode we will delve into what is arguably one of the most bizarre and perplexing outcomes in Eurovision history. From the fragmented jury results to the questionable voting patterns, we'll be thoroughly analyzing, deconstructing, and attempting to make sense of it all.
It's the Bulgarian clown in you.
Okay.
And before we begin, as always, I'm gonna be reminding you that you can always subscribe.
I'd really like to stay around for quite a long time.
We are a new channel on the Eurovision YouTube scene, and by subscribing and joining the Gono Mental Asylum, you will be helping me out a lot. And God knows I need a lot of help. I have analyzed almost all of the 2025 entries, so if you fancy a good crash out and a video essay style deep dive into the meanings and the lyrics of Eurovision songs, this channel will definitely float your boat, so make sure to join us.
Oh, you faggot!
And before I crash the fuck out and get overwhelmed by flashbacks from Saturday night, let's begin by briefly discussing the outcomes of both semifinal 1 and semifinal 2, starting with the first one. Okay, so I made a video trying to predict the outcome of semifinal 1 and damn, I really thought I nailed it. Turns out I'm a fraud who doesn't know shite.
You are one thick cow.
Skipping Azerbaijan, because honestly, this deserves to finish dead last in the semifinal, so I don't give a fuck. Moving on to the joint 14th and 13th place. Belgium finishing second to last in the semi. What? This is the first time I'm gonna mention this in this video, because I'll go back to it around 100 times, but with the outcome of this year, we can safely conclude one thing. People vote for songs, not stagings.
And that is the truth of the matter.
And while Belgium offered a spectacular staging, the song just did not resonate with the casual viewer.
That's very rude, isn't it? What kind of people are you?
I watched Semi 1 in the Netherlands with a couple of friends who just so happened to be casual viewers of Eurovision. And while they thought the staging was sick, the song left them unimpressed. Skipping Slovenia, I knew this would never qualify, Yao tried to gaslight me and I told Joe, so no surprise there whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, keeping it real.
Then Croatia. 28 points seems about right for this song and performance. Mess.
What a mess.
Mess is also a word I would use for this person as well. to take away from this result and entry. Next time I will be more discerning about whom I choose to support and encourage others to rally behind. Because quite frankly, some artists prove themselves unworthy of that trust and goodwill. Those 8 points from Ukraine.
Альона.
Господи, допоможи.
Дорогі співвітчизники, наступного року будете уважні, за кого голосуєте, адже іноді ви не знаєте, наскільки ця людина може не хотіти, щоб ми обрали участь у конкурсі. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Cyprus at 11 surprised me in hindsight, as I did predict them squeezing in. But while I was wrong about the qualification of the century, I was so right about the fact that Theo wouldn't be able to vocally sustain the song, as it did not sound good live whatsoever. No matter how much was thrown into the performance, this song was just not good enough. Neither was the vocal.
Does he have a song that I like? No. Does he have a voice that I like? No.
And it all came across as messy, despite the entire planning and careful thinking when it came to staging. It just didn't work.
Messy?
By far the most hated entry out of the semi-final at my viewing party. And again, staging would bring you so far.
I am out.
And while it's important because it can elevate your entry, it cannot completely save it if it's not strong enough. This is a song contest, not a staging one, you say.
It's an aircraft, not a bus, you see.
San Marino qualifying really shocked me on the night, but I kinda get it now. Plus, they weren't far off from not making it. Gabri Ponte got real lucky by having Italy in the semi, because otherwise, this would not have made it to the final.
Because I just didn't care for that at all. I didn't care for...
Portugal again just proves my conclusion that people voted for the songs and the emotions they invoked, rather than because of the performance and it having flashy and over-the-top staging. Do you know what I mean?
Do you like my British accent?
Iceland above Poland, however, I would have never been able to predict. I knew my boys were going to be making it, even though I dragged them on Twitter after the rehearsals clip and got to reconcile with them in Basel.
Got them here. Got them.
Got him.
Got them. Come.
If you could analyse this with us for a moment.
You're a slag and a liar.
I'm just glad the audience loved Roa as much as I did.
Iceland.
Estonia and Finland, not even in the top 3 in the semi, is wild to me, considering how certain we were that Sweden was going to be winning the semi-final. Our most definite, most likely winner of semi-final 1, Sweden, Barabarabastu, Kai.
Somebody lied to her several times.
And also, looking at Estonia's insanely high televote in the final, them getting only 5th in the semi-final? What? How is that possible?
What are we doing?
Odds, models, predictions, tops, we were all so wrong about everything this year. We really find it difficult to step outside of our Eurovision bubble in which we live all year, don't we? Albania we will talk more about in the final segment, and I was right, they were second, they almost won the semi. But Ukraine winning the semi? Okay.
Someone take my coat. I'm about to get ready.
We will have this conversation again. Clearly no one took notes from my last video, so sit you down again and give you a lesson so you don't look so damn stupid on the internet.
I don't think you know who you're dealing with here.
If Ukraine had sent strobe lights, it would have qualified. Yeah, and if my grandma had wheels, she would be a bicycle.
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
Like honestly, what are we even talking about?
You stupid person.
I've seen people on Twitter, mainly Spanish gay Eurofans whose brains have been fried due to the constant consumption of poppers, equating Ukraine's participation in the contest and performance in the contest with that of Israel, and thus both countries should allegedly be excluded.
That alone tells you how stupid you are.
Let me tell you why saying that makes you look like a horrible individual and makes you look so fucking stupid, so you don't embarrass yourself again on the internet. Got it?
You're a bastard!
Ukraine faces a brutal war. Ukraine was invaded by a terrorist and a genocidal state. Ukraine being at war means that their participation at Eurovision is even more necessary. Ukraine understands why Eurovision is so important. It's a chance to showcase your culture, identity and presence for 3 minutes, something that the Russian Federation has been actively trying to destroy for the past 3 years. Denying that opportunity and trying to take it away from Ukraine and 40 million people who are all victims of war crimes constantly is crazy work and is utterly disgusting.
Fuck you!
Cultural isolation of a country at war will bring nothing but opportunities to its aggressor. Removing Ukraine from the contest won't achieve anything, and it definitely won't make your countries perform better.
And that is the truth of the matter.
Ukraine is not a state running massive ad campaigns funded by the government and is definitely not trying to fabricate the televote or the jury vote. Ukraine's big televote scores are not only something that has been happening pre-2022, so it's not like Ukraine has been performing like Montenegro in the contest, for example.
That's called misinformation, disinformation, rage bait.
But also, these televote scores are organic. They are due to the fact that 4.3 million Ukrainians have been displaced from their homes and have fled to other countries in Europe. Do you know who else has a big diaspora? Not even caused by war? Poland, Albania, Romania, Italy. Especially when it comes to Albania and Poland, their diasporas massively vote for their countries in Eurovision. I need you all to understand that the concept of an immigrant or a refugee seeing their country on TV performing at Eurovision and wanting to support it is something nothing short of natural and normal.
I'm not upset, I'm fucking angry. I'm fucking angry.
Even the idea that we should somehow ban Ukrainians across Europe voting for their country in Eurovision is not only wild, it's borderline. Let's just say a word that starts with an F and finishes with a T.
What kind of people are you?
I'm going to stress this out again. Ukraine, unlike Israel, doesn't have massive ad campaigns worth millions of euros that stress that you can vote up to 20 times per voting method. Ukraine doesn't fabricate their televote scores. Ukraine wasn't running aggressive ad campaigns, nor were they encouraging people to vote 20 times across multiple credit cards and SIM cards. And let's face it, Zifferblatt's staging and song was not bad by any means. It stood out in the semi-final and casuals just liked it. Should we now throw a fit that in semi-final 1 Poland got 12 points from the Netherlands or that Albania got firefighter 12 points
Firefighter, 12 points.
from rest of the world and 10 points from each Italy and Switzerland? I fucking hated this year's Eurovision in regard to Ukraine because as soon as we send a slightly non-competitive entry, Eurofans just immediately drop their support and start bullying us and our artists online with no shame whatsoever.
Сука, блядска, тварь ебаная, я уже заебалась от этой хуйни, я заебалась уже.
Aliona.
Moving on to semi-final 2. Here, the situation was all over the place. Genuinely, one of the most stressful qualifiers and announcement sequences I have ever experienced. Genuinely, crash out after crash out, non-stop. And some of the most shocking non-qualifiers we have gotten in a long time. Also, the way I got wasted after the semi-final was insane as well. Did I film a video predicting semi-final 2, just like I did with the first semi-final? Yes, I did. Did I edit and post it? No, I did not. And thank the fuck God, because I got everything so wrong.
Beyond abysmal.
Montenegro I won't spend too much time on because we all saw this coming. However, Georgia, Serbia and Ireland with the same amount of points and sharing 15th, 14th and 13th place in the semi-final, to me, is insane.
Freedom is a mountain spree for shabby.
In all honesty, all three were sold out in my opinion, and were never really in the qualifiers conversation to begin with. And most of these 28 points came from diaspora, allies and bloc voting. Georgia got 10 points from Armenia, Serbia got 12 points from Montenegro and 10 from Austria, and Ireland got 11 points from Australia, UK and Malta collectively.
Let it be here and there, everywhere.
However, the next one. Oh god, this hurts so bad. Czechia in 12th place. With only 1 point more than these three, the chaos is devastating. and it's just so infuriating. Some of you were right. This was a non-qualifying entry after all. Despite that, I disagree with people saying that Adonis was Musty 2.0. He wasn't. Arguably, he had a better song than Before the Party Was Over. He had the vocals, he had the stage presence. These two things were missing entirely with Musty's performance.
And that is the truth of the matter.
One thing that did not work in Adonis's favor was the staging. It was just non-existent. The camera shots did not work at all.
This is so sad.
It just didn't come across. It just didn't come across. I don't know what to say. It just didn't come across. Which is a shame because the song is amazing and it's still in my top 6. And I would still like to ask for his hand in marriage. Adonis, marry me.
Sucked and licked and slurped and tongue.
I really need to get over my thing for Slovak men, don't I?
But she probably will turn into a lesbian.
Moving on to the second shock non-qualifier. Our milkshake man. Ugh, this was such a robbery and I was so confident that this would perform well. Honestly, I don't know what more they could have done with this. It was perfect in my opinion. The staging was perfect, he was perfect, the outfits were perfect, the vocals were great as well, the song was so catchy, I don't know what went wrong.
Yes, yes!
And I just think that the diasporas had the final say in the semi-final, and Australia cannot rely on diaspora whatsoever. Also, we did have Malta and Finland too, which came later on the show and were in direct competition with this. And maybe the target audience for Milkshake Man just opted voting for these two instead. I don't know. I just don't know what happened. Which brings me to the next country, Armenia, that made the final only because of diaspora, because they got so incredibly lucky with having Georgia, Israel, Greece and France in their semi, as 22 whole points came from Georgia, Greece and France collectively. Remove them and Armenia would have gotten 29 points. I wouldn't have missed this song whatsoever. I still find everything about it just horrid and tired, but they qualified fairly and there's nothing we can do. There's nothing I can do. Then Denmark. I still cannot believe Sissao made it in 8th. But I'm so happy for her. Still, this song to me just screams 12th place in the semi-final.
Oh, you faggot!
Greece was nowhere near the non-qualifier zone, which doesn't align with my prediction whatsoever. Because honestly, until the very last spot was announced, I was convinced Greece was just not gonna make it.
Greece!
More on Greece in a second though. Finland did not win the semi. Wow. Again, I was so wrong. They were 3rd. I genuinely thought they were gonna win the semi-final. More on Finland later as well, which means 2nd in the semi was Latvia. I knew they would make it. I was so sure of it. I cannot believe I let all of you, the odds and the polls, sway me into believing that they were in danger. Because they weren't.
Oh no. No. Never, ever again.
Tau Tomatoes getting 2nd in the semi-final is such a wonderful victory for ethnic bangers, and it's the proof in the pudding.
There's something wrong with you, hon.
That if an ethnic and folky song is accompanied by a cohesive and just breathtaking performance in terms of staging, vocals and stage presence, it wouldn't struggle in achieving a good result. Now that we have gone through what the semi-final results entailed, I suggest we dive deep into the gutter that was the final.
I haven't got it in me, I'm exhausted.
Jesus Christ, this might actually be the weirdest and most spread out results Eurovision has seen in ages. And they're by far their weirdest ones I've seen in the 10 years of me following the contest up close.
You're kidding.
Again, odds, polls, models, everything was so wrong. It's insane. Honestly, these results can be summed up perfectly in 4 words. Big bowl of bullshit. The way we'll be going over the final results, we'll be basically starting from the lowest ranking song overall, San Marino in 26th place, moving upwards to the overall winner, Austria.
I'm gonna say Austria.
And while doing so, we will be discussing both the jury and televote placements. Starting off with our overall bottom 5 and kicking it off with San Marino in last place in 26th. No-brainer. I mean, this was objectively the weakest song in the final. And I'm still baffled we had it in the final in general.
Some people have to fill the lower ranking.
The second San Marino qualified, the destiny of the song was clear. It getting last place in the final. And it did happen, with more than half of their points, 18 to be specific, coming from Italy. Iceland is next, in 25th. Moving on to my favorite boys, and again the result they got seems correct in my opinion, putting my bias aside. 0 jury points might be harsh, but we all saw it coming. The jury was never going to vote for this. It's definitely not a jury song, and I'm just glad they got 17th in the televote with 33 points. And they were also very happy with the result, so I'm not too angry about this in all honesty.
Shout out to y'all, that's flirtatious.
Moving on, in 24th place we have Spain. Yeah, again, I'm not shocked whatsoever. I definitely thought Spain was a contender for the last place in the final. I did.
It's a generic song, you don't need to sprinkle glitter on it.
I'm sorry, even though she's a fierce performer, the entry was still so dated and so cliché. 21st place with the juries, in my opinion, was a bit too high considering that Norway, Poland and Luxembourg were below it. But the 10 points from the public sound just right, and I don't know who voted for this.
Who cares? Who cares?
Again, Spanish Eurogaze, don't be bitter, just get better.
And that is the truth of the matter.
Wrapping up our bottom 5, we have our 23rd and 22nd place, Denmark and Luxembourg. Starting off with Denmark.
Big boobs are coming now.
Similarly to Iceland, I was just so glad to have it in the final that I didn't care all that much where they were gonna place in the final.
Big boobies incoming!
Denmark got its flowers by getting 16th with the juries and receiving 10 points from Georgia, out of all countries, and getting their firefighter 10 points.
Firefighter, 12 points.
But yeah, again, 2 points from the televote. I cannot act shocked. This entry was never in the running for the left side of the scoreboard.
Porn video.
Luxembourg at 22nd. Kinda gagged me, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought the juries would be more appreciative of Laura's vocal and that flawless staging, because my god, that staging was incredible.
It makes you feel good for 1 minute.
The staging for this song should be a textbook on how to elevate your entry without doing too much. Everything was just so cohesive and well executed. Those points from the jury, you're crazy. But the public also didn't care all that much for this song.
I don't care.
I know, I love you for that.
I don't care.
As they gave Luxembourg 19th place with 24 points. I think the song was just not all that strong, but still, Luxembourg continuing their streak of qualifying for the final is still a good enough outcome, in my opinion.
Yeah!
Moving on to 21st place, we have Portugal. Again, it's about where I imagined Portugal to be in the final. However, it is a bit strange that the juries for the first time in ages didn't show that much love to Portugal, as they only put them in 19th place. On the other hand, 21st with the televote is nothing short of expected, as Portugal tends to underperform with the televote, which is sad. It's one of my favorite entries this year, and I definitely cried to it at the jury final. Then, in 20th place, Armenia. In my opinion, is a bit outlandish, as according to me, this and San Marino were the weakest entries in the final.
I've said what I came to say.
12 points from the Maltese jury is just baffling. How on earth did you watch the entire show and think to yourself, oh yeah, the best song was Armenia? Hello?
Is she serious?
18th with the televote is not shocking because 20 out of those 30 came from the diaspora in Georgia and France.
And that is the truth of the matter.
Which again, it's fine, but I still don't like the song. I still don't like the song, and I don't think I will ever be able to like the song.
Done.
As I said in Gabe's stream, who is actually Park, I cannot picture anyone else but straight men who are into Imagine Dragons voting for this, and I stand firm in my opinion.
Obviously, this is a heterosexual package.
In 19th place, we have the United Kingdom.
What the hell just...
Here we go with the CEOs of getting 0 points in the final.
He's a bitch!
Honestly, I'm so shocked that the UK managed to get a top 10 finish with the juries. I mean, the girls can sing it all, and they're good performers, but this result is kind of shocking to me, in all honesty. Also, why did the Italian jury randomly, collectively, all went "Oh, Britannia" in the jury final?
United Kingdom!
Televote, I'm not really surprised, I just can't lie. I can't imagine someone liking this song enough to throw a vote their way. Sorry.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Okay, moving to 18th place, that is Norway. I honestly think that this song suffered from it being just a nice slice of pop. It was a good package, Kai was an amazing artist and performed the shit out of the song. But if we isolate the entry in a purely sonical manner, it was really not reinventing the wheel, and I think that's why it kind of got forgotten in the mix. Getting only 23rd place with the juries is kind of absurd, but luckily our little Kozak
Aljona.
managed to score 12th with the televote, so props to Kyle. The Eurovision model put Norway in 10th, which again goes to show how incorrect it was.
Choices.
Moving on to 17th place, Malta. Controversial opinion time. I did not like the staging all that much.
You are a slut and I hate you.
It's truly the definition of camp, that I do not deny. But to me it read almost as kitschy. The
Messy, I don't know.
legs, the lips, the weird LEDs, her red hair, the leopard print. Iconic, but still kitsch.
It's not quality fishnet stockings bodysuit is
And unlike most of y'all probably, I never thought that this was in the running for the top 10. It was never in that conversation, let alone the winner one. Malta, being Malta, really struggled with the public, getting 23rd place with only 8 points. And honestly, with all of the controversy and media coverage that went into Kant serving, and all of the hype on TikTok and Grindr, I don't know what Malta could have done to secure a good televote result. I have no solution. Moving on to 16th place, Lithuania. Well, shite. I'm so sad that this masterpiece did not get into the top 15. I have been so invested in Lithuania's entry this year, and this outcome, despite still being good, it pains me. I have been in love with Catharsis since day one of the song getting released for the national final in Lithuania, and I had the amazing opportunity to be a guest contributor over at ESC Inside and discuss why Catharsis' inclusion in this year's contest is revolutionary. So if you haven't checked out my article on the topic, please make sure to go over and check it after this video because I'm really proud of my work.
Compliment season.
And again, I'm so utterly grateful to the ESC Inside team and especially to Charlene for reaching out and offering this opportunity to me. It was truly an honor, so thank you.
I love that!
Yeah, but the juries did not give these guys their flowers. Because the fuck you mean 20th place? Below Armenia and Denmark. That is just stupid.
You fucking joking! You're not fucking fucking
Televote came through as expected. I just sincerely hope I'm right about this paving the way for post-punk at Eurovision in the future. Now entering our top 15 and starting off with Germany. And I'm beyond shocked. Truly, beyond shocked that Balor did not get paid dust.
You're joking.
But actually managed to achieve one of the highest results for Germany in the contest in recent history. Did the jury overrate this? Maybe potentially. 13th is a bit much in my opinion, and I would have never anticipated a high jury result for Balor. More so, I would have never expected us to give 12 points to Germany. Am I mad though? No. I love Balor. It's the hit of the summer. I'm calling it now. Clubbing is what Germans do best. Please continue the tradition and do not go back to sending mid songs. I'm begging you.
Stop it! At your age!
14th place, we have Poland. Listen, do I think that the jury's putting Justyna in the bottom 3 is beyond absurd? Yes. Gaia was never an entry catering towards the jury, but come on, that vocal, choreography, everything is not worthy of this mistreatment. Again, as with Lithuania, this is a completely different conversation we should be having, and it is very tricky, but yeah, just outrageous jury result for Poland this year. The diaspora really stood behind this. I mean, that 7th place with the public was majorly influenced by the Polish diaspora in Europe.
I don't want any contact with Poland!
12 points from Ireland, 12 points from Iceland, 10 points from UK, the Netherlands and Belgium, and more. Which is again perfectly fine. I honestly have no problem with the Poles going absolutely mental over Justyna Kus. Same. But I don't think you guys should be disappointed by this result whatsoever. Amazing, and I honestly hope this result only marks a new chapter of Poland's trajectory in Eurovision, because this is what you guys should be sending. I just knew this was gonna get top 10 with the televote, as the Poles might be the most unhinged people to exist. Because why are you voting 20 times for Justyna and messaging your whole extended family to do the same as well?
I deeply dislike or I hate Poland.
Moving on to our 13th place, we have Latvia. Okay, I have been waiting to talk about the scenery. I never doubted my girls. Deep within me, I always knew they would make the final, despite all of y'all saying that they were non-qualifiers. But getting right side of the scoreboard in the final? Are you kidding me? 7th with the juries. Are you taking the piss? If you have been following this channel, you would know how much I love this entry and how much praise I give to it any chance I get. Latvia getting 7th with the juries and 3 sets of Firefighter 12 points is the most pleasant surprise I could have asked for. I'm so glad that the beauty and cultural significance of Burman Laimi got recognized, and in all honesty, with that performance and just the magic that Tau Tomatoes created on stage, it would have been a crime if it didn't. I can't believe that people connected with the song. 15th with the televote, and I'm gonna come out and say it. Latvia is one of the biggest winners this year.
He's got to be the winner. Sorry, Shah.
From 11th in the semi-final odds to a left side of the scoreboard, they defeated all odds. Not only did they manage to continue their qualification streak, but they achieved their highest result in 10 years. That's a decade. I'm beyond proud of these girls and Latvia in general. I hope you'll realize how beautiful and needed your culture, your folklore and your language are in this contest. And I can't wait to see what Latvia has in store for us next year.
No look.
Moving on to 12th place, we have the Netherlands.
It goes la, 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 la.
Listen, 12 the Netherlands, I don't have much to say. I'm glad the juries enjoyed and voted for this song by giving it 5th place. But the televote was always going to be lower with this performance. It was always going to be lower than the juries. And I kept saying that. 15th with the public is by no means a bad result. And I can't lie, I think this position was deserved. And Celavi was not robbed whatsoever in my opinion. 12th place is about where this entry should have ended.
And that is the truth of the matter.
And before we continue to our top 10, in 11th place, we have Finland. It's just one of the most outrageous outcomes we've gotten in years. Going into the final, me and my friends were expected Finland to sneak up on everyone and shock win the whole thing. Oh boy, were we wrong. And no matter how many times I repeat that Erika had a winning performance, it will just prove that we really do live in a Eurovision bubble, and our opinions do not correspond to those of the casual viewers. Finland is the best example of this. The odds had it 4th, the model as well, all fan polls had it between 2nd and 3rd. And it didn't even crack the top 10. This will never fail to hurt me. This will never fail to hurt me. And do I have an explanation for this result? No. I honestly, for the love of me, do not have an explanation as to why the juries and televote put this 10th and 9th respectively. Especially the televote.
Just malicious, just gay faggotry.
Everything was screaming winner about this. From the song, the staging, her stage presence, her charisma, everything.
Strong. She's powerful. She knows what she wants.
First, the sudden rise and return of Puritan culture. Now Ich komme not cracking top 10 in the final of Eurovision 2025. The dark ages really are coming back. And we sluts keep losing, and I'm sick of it. And I don't care about this result. Ich komme is still one of my winners. And I will still keep screaming Ich gotem till the day I fucking die. Starting the top 10 conversation in 10th place, we have Switzerland. We are about to be crashing the fuck out because Switzerland's result is one of the biggest robberies Eurovision has ever seen. 0 points from the televote. What do you mean fucking 0 points? You're telling me that this piece of art deserved 0 points and last place with the public.
I'm not gonna take this! You cannot do this!
Who is the public? Who is the public? The idiots?
Look what you've done, you simpleton.
I have no idea what happened. Similarly to Finland, I was going into the final thinking this has the potential of just winning and bringing back the contest to Switzerland again next year.
Oh, if only that was true.
The most undeserved 0 point in history. One of the best stagings I've ever seen. I'm not taking the piss when I say that this is arguably in the top 5 of the best stagings and performances we've ever gotten at Eurovision.
And that is the truth of the matter.
And yeah, I said people vote for songs and feelings, not stagings. But honestly, I never expected anything else from the televote. Audience consisting of primarily mere mortals with the intellectual capacity of a fucking cashew nut.
I'm not upset, I'm fucking angry! I'm fucking angry!
I watched Semi 1 with casuals. Switzerland was by far their favorite entry. By far. 3 of them downloaded the song immediately after the performance ended.
Okay, I'm gonna say Switzerland. I really like it. I would also have to say Switzerland.
After hearing from other people how casuals were actually responding to this quite well, I was sure we wouldn't be talking about a low televote result. But here we fucking are.
Just giving you 80 points with the best song of the day. What's wrong with you all?
And this opens a different conversation. Removing juries from anything is one of the stupidest ideas known to mankind.
Why have you forsaken me?
This is why we need juries. The televote cannot fully appreciate complex entries like this, as it clearly lacks the expertise. Voyage wouldn't have qualified if Switzerland was participating in the semi-finals.
Fuck this shit!
But Zoe almost won the jury vote in the grand final. This is why we need juries. We really need the juries back in the semi-finals. And for the love of God, don't even think of lowering the weight of the juries in the final. Don't.
Don't start with me, you gobby little cat. I ain't in the mood.
Because this deserved to win the juries, and it almost did, getting second place with 214 points. But this entry did not deserve to mark the biggest discrepancy between jury and public vote in the contest. This was a masterpiece, and in my opinion, it would have been a deserved winner. Moving on to 9th place, we have Ukraine. And I won't elaborate on this, as everything I said in the semi-final 1 segment still stands. And I need you bitches to stop whining and calm down and stop yapping, as Zifferblatt did not even get top 5 with the televote. So yeah, good result, another deserved top 10 for Ukraine, and I cannot wait for Vidbeer next year. Nehaj nenavisniki podavljacia mojim velikim chujem. Then, in 8th place we have Albania. We have one of the biggest tragedies. Albania getting 8th place with 218 points. I left Arena Plus weeping because of this robbery. Albania getting 16th with the juries is preposterous, beyond abysmal.
Beyond abysmal.
In what universe did Zierm deserve to be out of the top 15? We need a serious reform of the juries because authentic entries like this cannot keep getting such abysmal jury results. And this is not me calling for the juries to be removed, as they saved our asses for a second year in a row. Plus, they do save genuinely fabulous entries from getting buried by the televote. But Albania did not deserve such a low place. They just didn't.
What kind of people are you?
This performance was one of the best of the night. Arguably the best performance of the night. The public did not disappoint, however. Shkodra Elektronike got 5th place in the televote, almost beating Austria. And despite this being a fabulous result for Albania, I genuinely cannot believe that Zjarm did not get Albania's best result in the contest. Genuinely be in my top 10 favorite Eurovision entries of all time, and it sure as hell is my winner of this year. Okay, off to 7th place, France. And again, just pure shock. This was nowhere near the top 3, let alone the victory. And I just know that the French delegation is pissed as hell because they threw everything they had at this song.
Just get her the fuck out there, bro. Fucking smash your fucking face.
And clearly were aiming for the win. But maybe it just didn't get across. Maybe it was too staged, maybe it felt too rehearsed to the point that people lost the genuine connection with the song. I have no clue what happened. Am I mad at this 7th place, however? No.
What?
Am I mad that this did worse than Monomore from last year? I sure as hell am. Because 14th with the televote is just stupid. I'm sorry, but it is.
You'll never be.
Before moving on to the top 5, we're taking a voyage to 6th place. That is Greece.
Hi, Greece!
With 231 points. Well, we were also wrong, weren't we? I genuinely thought Greece might not even qualify for the final, which was clearly not the case. Again, my theory is proven here as well. People did not vote for stagings, they voted for songs.
And that is the truth of the matter.
As the song has an insane wide appeal when it comes to the casual viewers, despite the ugly as hell staging. Because everything about the staging, aside from the dress review, was beyond horrid.
That abortion of a dress. It's as if
the ugly CapCut visuals,
Is she serious?
the fuck-ass rock, her awful styling that was surely done by a blind straight man, as there is no way that a gay person would snatch poor Claudia's head, bald, and make her look like a 40-year-old Trixie Mattel out of drag. Let's talk about styling, we have none.
So let's kick it off and talk about the styling. We have none.
I just think both the juries and the televote overlooked the stolen Theresa Maria staging, executed in the worst way possible, and went crazy stupid over the song, because the song is good, and her vocals are beyond brilliant, and this marked 8th place with both the televote and the juries. Moving on to the top 5, and hitting things off we have our 5th place, Italy, with 256 points. Italy and Greece by far were the biggest dark horses this year. I always knew that the fandom was in for a big shock with Volevo essere un duro, because it was always bound to receive a high jury score.
I have told you a million times, don't question me.
It's a heartfelt ballad done in a very minimalistic yet touching way, and it sounded like nothing else in the lineup. And the inclusion of the harmonica and the English lyrics on the screen, those were the final nails in the coffin. That's precisely how Italy managed to secure 4th place with the juries with 159 points and getting 6 sets of 12 points. The public also responded to it quite well by giving it 10th place, ensuring its top 5 finish, despite the fact that polls, odds and models left this entry out of the top 5 constantly.
it's the Bulgarian clown in you.
Honestly, it's a very divisive entry, and you can already guess that it was indeed one of my favorites. It's raw and honest, and Lucio undoubtedly deserved this incredible result. There were people that appreciated my package. Not my package. Moving on to 4th place, one of the biggest shocks of the entire year, Sweden with Kai. Look, I can't bite my tongue and start crying over this result, since I was never the biggest fan of this entry.
All you've done is complain.
And to me, this result seems perfectly fine in all honesty. But I'm going to be objective. Even though after seeing the semi-final 1 jury performance, I was sure this wasn't a winning performance.
Can't you ever have a friendly evening? Can you not do that?
The betting odds had it first with 50% winning chance ahead of the final. Same goes for the model, for the press and audience polls. Everyone was gearing up for another Swedish victory, and it just didn't happen. It just never happened.
You are grounded.
Still, Sweden achieved one of their highest results in a decade, with the exception of Loreen in 2023 of course. By no means is this a loss or somehow a failure. Sweden was 6th in the juries with 126 points, 1 set of 12 points coming from Iceland, and 3rd in the televote with 195 points with 4 sets of 12 points. And while we're all shocked that Estonia defeated Sweden in the televote,
I lost.
we gotta take a step back and realize that the hype for Kai was probably only within the limits of the Eurovision bubble and Sweden. Despite Barabarabastu not winning Eurovision 2025, the fact that a song about a sauna, sung in Swedish by a Finnish humor band, is nothing short of applaudable. And I sincerely hope this marks the start of Sweden redefining its brand in the contest and taking more risks, rather than sending safe plastic pop entries Manzelmelov. And now, on to the worst top 3 we have seen in quite some time.
This is disgusting!
Starting out with our bronze medalist, in 3rd place is Estonia with 356 points. Listen, I hate this song, I don't like him, I like nothing about this entry whatsoever. Staging, performance, nothing is palatable for me whatsoever.
Does this song need to be heard? I'm not so sure.
And my opinion on this has remained the same ever since he won Estilau, and it will probably remain the same in the foreseeable future.
There's no message.
However, as soon as Estonia performed in the final, it felt like the 36,000 people in Arena Plus all did a line at the same time. Because by far Estonia had the biggest cheers out of all 26 competing entries. And come on, this was obviously catering towards the casual audience that desperately searched for a silly earworm.
Honest? Sometimes
this entry was not catering in any way, shape or form towards fuckers like me who search for genuinely good music with deep meaning and lyrics behind it. And this is clearly reflected in the televote result, as Estonia achieved an outstanding 2nd place, receiving 5 sets of 12 points. And while this result is insane, it's no-brainer, as this is the literal definition of a televote bait entry. However, my issue is with the jury score, because in no universe did this song deserve 9th place with the professional juries. It just didn't. I'm sorry.
What kind of people are you?
And it definitely did not deserve to be higher than Albania, Poland, Portugal, Lithuania, and Finland, just to name a few.
And that is the truth of the matter.
Would I have preferred Tommy Cash to get those extra 2 points so he could have beaten Israel and placed 2nd instead of them? Yes, but this is still the worst 3rd place finisher for me in ages.
I am out.
And I firmly stand behind my belief.
Goodbye.
Moving on to 2nd place, we have Israel. It's time to address the big fat elephant in the room, something I'm dreading.
I was sharpening my knife.
I must preface this by emphasizing that my perspective on this matter is shaped by a commitment to objectivity, and my inclusion of the segment on Israel's this year is not optional. To omit it would be to neglect a critical and troubling reality that cannot in good conscience be ignored. As a student of law, and I have dedicated myself to the principles of legal integrity, particularly to upholding international law. This commitment is not contingent upon personal sympathies, political ideologies, or temporal considerations.
I'm nodding like I understand, but I'm not so sure I do.
It is my firm belief that any state that persistently violates international law and legal norms, disregards established codes of conduct, and goes against general broadcaster guidelines should not be afforded participation in Eurovision, particularly when its involvement serves primarily as a vehicle for advancing political narratives and manipulating outcomes to sway public opinion, as has occurred over 2 consecutive years.
Folks, look on your computers.
Let's get into it. Israel's result is nothing short of the biggest controversy Eurovision has seen in ages. Following their insanely inflated and potentially fabricated televote score with 297 points and 13 sets of 12 points, RTV of Spain, VRT of Belgium, RUF of Iceland, ULE of Finland, RTE of Ireland, and NRK of Norway have all raised questions regarding the voting and have requested reviews of the televote results for Israel. RTVE and RTVSLO of Slovenia have called for a debate on whether Israel should be still allowed to compete, and both Avrotros and NPO in the Netherlands has raised queries regarding the current state of Eurovision, and for a good reason.
This is crazy.
Israel's government-funded ad campaign has proved successful for yet another year, with the Israeli government advertising agency, which operates under the Prime Minister's office, spending more than €1 million and buying YouTube ads, encouraging people to vote for Israel and emphasizing that one could vote up to 20 times for each voting method. Same goes for the official social media accounts of the Israeli government and Benjamin Netanyahu.
Prison, honey.
The insane government-funded ad campaign for Israel this year not only puts into question the integrity of Eurovision, but also questions the transparency of the contest as a whole. Let's use Belgium's viewership, for example. 2025 marked the lowest viewership for Eurovision in Belgium, yet the votes for Israel have skyrocketed in comparison to last year by nearly 20,000 more votes. The points given to Israel by other countries such as Ireland and Spain, considering the worsening of political tensions and public opinions regarding Israel, also seem grossly inflated to say the least. This could potentially and allegedly indicate signs of fabrication of the televote by purchasing SIM cards and mobilizing non-viewers of the contest.
This is disgusting.
And in the majority of the countries that gave high points to Israel, proof of ID is not needed when purchasing a SIM card. And this potential and alleged fabrication is not only evidenced by the fact that discrepancy between jury and public vote, as the juries awarded 15th place to Israel, but also by the fact that the Israeli song was overall nothing short of boring enough.
Just not.
Full of cliches and nothing captivating whatsoever.
Done.
And you could argue that this is my subjective opinion, but objectively speaking, the song is just flopping in all charts. And it's a little suspicious how the entry that got the highest amount of points from the public is not charting anywhere, while countries such as Germany and Sweden that did not even reach the top 3 seem to be doing incredibly well. While the situation regarding the debate surrounding Israel's participation and inclusion in Eurovision is still ongoing and it's rapidly changing, one thing is clear: we cannot keep doing this. And a reform regarding the televote needs to take place immediately, because the manipulation and fabrication of votes and results is nothing short of unacceptable and ultimately puts into danger the very core of this contest.
And that is the truth of the matter.
And finalizing this conversation, this video and episode, it has been a ride. We shall discuss our new reigning winner, Austria, JJ with Wasted Love. Well, I'm glad that Austria won. I mean, come on. The entire continent of Europe was hit by an indescribable amount of relief when JJ won. And while I do think it's a deserved victory, I don't have much to say.
Oh, that sounded really bratty.
My opinion on the song hasn't changed from the last time I spoke about it. In my opinion, the performance was great and showed an incredible amount of professionalism both in terms of staging and vocally when it comes to JJ.
It was good, wasn't it? Let's face it.
However, to me this song still feels incredibly plastic and manufactured, and I still cannot connect with it.
Right. Are you joking?
I underestimated how much of a jury appeal this entry has, as it won the juries, even though not by a huge margin. And it still did very, very well with the televote, getting 4th place with 178 points. Do I have anything else to say? No, not really. Wow, I can go on a rant about how this is one of the most lackluster winning entries we have gotten in years.
Who cares? Who cares?
And how I would have preferred other countries to win. That is useless and would only diminish the key issue we have at hand, and that is not Austria's win. I congratulate JJORF, the Austrian broadcaster, and the entirety of Austria on a well-deserved victory.
Happy Christmas, you old slapper.
And I honestly could not be more excited to go to Austria next year and see what the Austrians have in store. And with that in mind, this is where we're going to be wrapping up our lovely and long episode.
Huge success. No wonder, because I was involved.
Thank you all so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure to have you here after Eurovision. God knows we needed to have this conversation.
Yes.
We are all suffering from post-Eurovision depression. We're going to be suffering from that for the next couple of months. So what I suggest you do is go over and check my channel. I have covered a lot of entries. We do a lot of fun things. We do deep dives, analysis, getting drunk, getting wasted, all of that fun stuff. And I think you joining the Goto Mental Asylum would make me very happy. So make sure to subscribe. You can also follow me on social media. You can follow me on Twitter, where I'm very, very active. I yap on there and thirst on there all the fucking time. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where it's a little bit more personal, a little bit more of my life outside of this contest.
Yeah!
And with that in mind, thank you all so much for watching. It has been your boy, Gotham. It was my pleasure to have you around this time. And remember, ich Gotham.